How to be a football fan in 2025. Pick a team. Yes, done. Banter with rivals. That's hilarious. Check. Buy the jersey. Hang on a second. Ta-da! Check. Start a YouTube show. Start a YouTube show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sports Entertainment Weekly. You know the old saying, you either die a football fan or you have so much trauma from your club that you take that and turn it into a football show. And that is what we are here to do. And what a great week for us to get started with Sports Entertainment Weekly, because we had the Formula One on the weekend. I have to admit, I have not cared for Formula One. I haven't found it interesting, although I've tried asking my friends and got 2 hours lecture on the marvel of engineering and how it is the glue that holds the world together. Yeah, asking about F1 to a fan is like trying to sit in a room with the usual suspects cast. You never get one goddamn straight answer on why the sport itself is interesting. In other news, in a significant morale boost for the oppressed advocating for change, Prince William is the latest individual to call out the 3 p.m. blackouts. Yeah, he called it irritating and outdated. He also confirmed in the same interview that he often goes to fan forums to talk about his club Aston Villa. It's just mind blowing to me that Prince William is out there, lurking on some subreddit for Aston Villa fans, asking for dodgy stream links just like the rest of the country. In more weird crossover news, we saw Lamine Yamal at WWE SmackDown when WWE was visiting Barcelona for a special European tour. Yeah, Manchester United saw that and wanted to capitalize on the trend. So they went ahead and invited Charles Leclerc from Formula One for a stadium tour at Old Trafford. Let's take a look at how that went.
Is there a leakage?
A leakage of what?
I have the seat full of water, like full of water.
Must be the water.
Let's add that to the weather filter.
Oh, Old Trafford, you big sinking ship. Nike brought back its iconic Galaxy foam side shoes. Yeah, it was a huge hit originally, and they brought it back, recreated the whole, trade anything for a pair of Nikes, just like its original release. And people had a lot of interesting trades. Let's take a look. That's life for a Manchester United fan in 2025. Speaking of United fans, we managed to grab an exclusive interview from a long-time Manchester United fan and a resident of Old Trafford who cares deeply about the club's interests. Let's take a look.
Welcome to my humble abode beneath the hallowed stands of Old Trafford. The humans call this place the theatre of dreams, but for my family, it's simply been home for generations. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Rio Fergerant, named by my grandfather who lives through the glorious Ferguson era from his cozy nest in the North Stand. You know, there's a saying among us stadium rats, life's a maze, and I'm just trying to find my way. How true that feels now as I navigate this new Old Trafford. I watched from my hiding spot as they fired that Ten Hag fellow. Nice man, he always dropped sandwich crusts near my entrance. This new Emorium character hasn't learned our feeding schedule yet, but I remain hopeful. He says United is a massive club, not a massive team. I've been reflecting on those words lately as I watch Sir Jim and his Inua's team scurrying about, trying to right this sinking ship. Perhaps Sir Jim Ratcliffe is right. Perhaps some difficult decisions are necessary. We understand survival, but we also understand community, loyalty, and history. When the bombs fell and damaged our home, we didn't abandon it. We waited patiently for 8 years to return. That's the spirit of Manchester United that I hope isn't lost in all this restructuring and cost-cutting. So here I sit, beneath the stands of this magnificent yet aging theatre, watching another generation of fans come through the turnstiles. They pay more now, grumble louder, but still they come. And we Rats remain, permanent residents of this storied stadium, witnesses to history both glorious and inglorious. Will our namesake Cliff's revolution return the club to its former greatness? Will the Glazers finally sell up and move on? These questions keep me awake during the day. But one thing I know for certain, Rats have outlasted empires, and we'll outlast ownership regimes too. As for me, I'll continue to gather stories to share with my grandpups, adding Sir Jim's chapter to our long history. I'll tell them about the time when Manchester United became mediocre but refused to stay that way. How even in the darkest financial times, the spirit of the club never died, because that's what we do at Old Trafford. We endure, we adapt, we hope. And occasionally, when no one's looking, we help ourselves to a dropped hot dog.
Folks, moving to London, starting Sports Entertainment Weekly, this has been a dream come true for me. That is why it means a lot that the footballing community has been looking forward to what we have to do with Sports Entertainment Weekly. And in fact, some of the patrons have been kind enough to send congratulations on our start.
Congratulations for that.
He's remarkable. He has some talent that no one has. I mean,
He's unstoppable, obviously.
he's a guy that I really respect.
Putting together a show like this, there is a lot of production headaches, budgeting headaches, and taking it from idea to, an end product is easier said than done. And we certainly couldn't have done that without our sponsor for this episode. Here is a quick ad from them.
Hey football fans, are you sick and tired of fairness? Do you yearn for the good old days when the beautiful game was spiced up with just that little bit of utter chaos? Well, you've come to the right place. Welcome to 1666 by a Ref, the premier referee rental service for when you want a little edge. And by edge, we mean the sort that has opposition fans screaming at the TV and pundits questioning their life choices.
Here at 1666 by a Ref, we're not about fancy stats or VAR that doesn't work. No. We're all about an unwavering commitment to tradition.
That's right. We're proudly, and let's be honest, exclusively staffed by referees from the Greater Manchester area. Why Manchester? Because, tradition. And to ensure diversity of opinion. Specifically, the opinion that all decisions should probably go one way. And to ensure consistency, all of our refs are exclusively trained white males. Think of it as heritage refereeing.
Moving on, our core values, incompetence and bias. Remember Graham Poll? Legend. He once gave Joseph Simunich 3 yellow cards in a single match. That's the kind of inspired refereeing we offer. We guarantee that our referees will miss blatant fouls, award phantom penalties, and occasionally they'll forget the basic rules of the game. Think of it as performance art disguised as refereeing. But it's not just about questionable calls. At 1666 by a Ref, we're also committed to player injury. Look, football's a physical game, right? And sometimes a robust challenge is just misunderstood artistry. Remember that Nigel de Jong Kung Fu kick at the World Cup final? Textbook stuff. And guess who was responsible for that piece of laissez faire officiating? None other than our silent advisor and current PGMOL chief, Howard Webb. Our refs are trained to appreciate physicality. Unless a foul is committed by your team, then red card, obviously, for reasons. And just because we believe in global best practices, we're also fully committed to conflict of interest. Our referees enjoy a jet setting lifestyle officiating games all over the world. Weekend in Abu Dhabi, Monday night refereeing a Premier League game at the Etihad, no problem, our referees will do it. Think of it as international diplomacy through some slightly biased whistles. So, are you ready to experience refereeing like never before? Are you ready to embrace the chaos? Are you ready to buy a ref? Don't settle for fair. Demand disaster. 1666 buy a ref. Because sometimes losing with style is better than winning with boring fairness. 1666 buy a ref.
Hey, is your club in a state of bother? These are the guys that we reach out to. Well, that's a wrap on this edition of Sports Entertainment Weekly. If you are a sports fan, football in particular, please consider subscribing to the channel. I'm sure you'll fall in love with the content that we are going to bring in the next few weeks. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you have a great week.